Happy Thursday.
Mm. Happy Thursday indeed. Today is a day that I am not working in the clinics. So.
Oh,
Yeah. Well, I'm in massage school now.
that's right. You're back in massage school. I am stoked to hear about
Yeah.
that
Yeah. I
because
love
there's
it.
a little gap there, and now you were in, you were
Yeah.
excited, then you're out for a little bit. Now you're
Fantastic.
back, and now you boom.
I love it. I just got to pick right up where I was. And now I'm in the clinics. And so I go to school in the morning, I go clinics in the afternoon. And, as I do, I overbook myself. So I do like 4 hours at school and then I do 8 hours in the clinic. And
Okay,
I don't know if you've ever tried to do 8 hours of massage back to back to back before, but
can't say that I
yeah. So I'm lightening up my load in June. I just gotta hang in there. I just gotta hang in there. But today I'm not
right
working in
on.
the clinics this afternoon, so my hands they get a break. They get a break.
Hey, so your hands, you probably have like dim mock, like the touch of death
Yes.
now. Your hands are
Yeah,
so
like the
strong.
claw. I can just like, yeah, rip out a man's
How
throat
does that work for
like.
the kids? Don't rip out the kid's throat.
Oh, that's funny. Well,
But I
we
get
are.
the analogy. I get it.
Oh, yeah, yeah. Well, Lizzie's turning 12 and Matt's 13. So, those junior high ages. Ugh,
Oh, so awkward, so
they keep me busy.
weird.
They keep me busy.
Yes,
Man, you're looking
you
good out
juggle
in
so.
nature. You're looking good in nature. It's good to see
I
you.
appreciate that. Yeah, it's good to see you too. Yeah, in the mitten, it's the whole Mother's Day thing, and so that was a lot of fun. And Michigan is such a great place for me anyway, to
Mhm.
get regrounded,
Man,
to get
forest,
grounded again. It's like alignments,
trees.
nature, ducks, waterfalls, lakes.
Yeah.
Yes, I'll take all of it. And now it's green. I won't take the bugs, but I will take the green for sure. Talking
Yeah.
about the leaves on the trees, by the way, for those
Oh, yeah, yeah.
for those folks.
All the grass, all the grass. Yeah, your eyes
All the
just
grass.
drinking in the
Yeah, all the
green.
grass.
Well, I just came back from Kauai. I took my mom on a vacation. She's always wanted to go to Hawaii, and I just love that I'm in a place in my life where I could do that for her. So we took a mother-daughter trip.
That's
It was
awesome.
so fun. Lots and lots of green. Um, they don't have a whole lot of ducks, but tons of chickens everywhere. Like pigeons.
That's bizarre. I would never guess
Wow.
that about Hawaii.
Wild chickens everywhere. It's just cock-a-doodle doo all day long. And they start at like 3 a.m. Yeah, yeah, chicken and geese because they have the Hawaiian goose is their national bird and it's protected.
Oh, interesting. Didn't know that.
Yeah, the nene, which means grandmother in Hawaiian. So you see these signs. I took a whole bunch of pictures because my kid's friend's name's Nene. And he's like, "Ma, you got to send me pictures." So I sent him pictures of signs. I said, "Please do not feed Nene. Do not get too close to the Nene." They had a little vest that they were cleaning up the poop and the feathers, and there it said "Nene Patrol." It was a little on the back of their vest. It's pretty funny.
Wow, the nay nay. How about that?
Yeah, it's my happy place. I
Uh,
love Kauai, and we had a great trip. But I'm on my way to another trip right now. Sunday, I'm going
Yeah.
to Oslo, Norway. This will be my third time speaking at NDC Oslo. Love it there. Yeah.
Okay. Now tell me about the event. Tell me
hmm
about the event. Third time at Oslo. I've never been.
Yeah, yeah. Well, they're very very polite up in Scandinavia, and so the first time I ever
Interesting.
spoke at NDC Oslo, I actually spoke, and the more stoic they were, the faster my talk started to come out. I started to get nervous.
I'm sure. I'm sure.
So I finished my 55-minute talk in like just over 45 minutes. It was like in 48 minutes or something, and I panicked, and then I went right to my hotel room and just shut down, took a nap. I was so
Oh,
exhausted.
wow.
I was just like, and then I realized I looked later, and at my ratings, I had all greens and one yellow and one red, and I was like, oh, actually they liked me. It was fine. And then they invited me back, and I was like, oh, okay, I guess they do like me. And now this is the third time, and I'm like, hey, yeah, all right,
Okay.
I got
So
this.
how do you normally manage that, Lucky, when you have an audience that is seemingly unresponsive?
Yeah, well, when I go up there now, I have answers ready because you've seen me speak, right? I
Oh,
ask
yeah.
questions. I get down off the stage. I want to ask questions to people. I have people raise hands. I have them close their eyes and do a little mindfulness activity. I'm engagey. And so when
Yes,
people
you are
don't
engaging.
do it, what I don't do now is I don't panic when I'm up in Scandinavia and I speak. Instead, I'll answer my own question. I'll say, "Hey, does anybody know this? Raise your hand." And nobody raises their hand. I go, "Oh, yeah, you? Uh-huh." And I'll go, "Oh, you're nodding your head. Uh-huh, you're nodding. Okay, got it." And I'll call them out a little bit like that. And
Interesting.
that's about the engagement I'll get. And then they'll at the end of my talk, I'll go, "Okay, any questions?" And there won't be any questions because they don't want to question you. You're the authority on stage. I don't want to question you and be impolite. So, everybody just does a golfer clap and they stand up and they calmly file out one by one. And a few
Okay.
people will talk to me throughout the conference later, right? The one-on-one, hey, I like this point you made, or I, I contradict this point you made, whatever, right? And they'll talk to me one-on-one, but during it, not so much.
Right. Interesting.
Yeah, so you
Interesting.
got to know your audience, right?
I'm hearing you say you're able to overcome um, a passive audience by engaging the audience, getting them involved, including them, and
And
that
I
brings them
prompt
out of
them.
their shell.
And I prompt
Say
them a
again.
little,
Okay.
prompt
Prompt
them.
them.
Yeah, 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 yep, I'll do that. Yeah. It's fun though. I
What's the
love it. And of
craziest
course I'll see my friends. I know a lot of other speaker friends who will be there, so that's cool.
what's the craziest adventure on stage that you can share outside of
Ooh,
doing a speech in Antarctica or keynote in Antarctica, which was pretty crazy. But what's
that was pretty
what's
crazy.
another one that's comparable to that?
Yeah, so we did the first ever tech conference in Antarctic coastal waters, and we got a whole certificate from the captain and everything. That was cool. Right as we were passing Drake's Passage, and it's the busiest, biggest waves on the planet in the world, the most tumultuous
No
waters.
kidding.
So
No
there's a
kidding.
video out there doing that keynote, and I'm holding onto the podium, and you can see me every now and then. I keep glancing out at the window to see the horizon because the ship is going like this.
No
So
kidding.
but yeah,
Wow.
that's the Antarctica keynote that I did, but which wasn't actually on land. But the craziest, I'm trying to think, like the first time when I spoke in Oslo and I panicked, that was one. I did a keynote in Greece, and it was
Oh,
Thessaloniki. I think it was Athens. Either way, the Voxed and Devox conferences in Greece are great. The tech conferences, I love them. Patroklos is terrific. The whole team there. And I did a closing keynote, and for some reason, my laptop wasn't working with the screen, with the projector. And so, as I would try to advance my slides, it was staying stuck. Well, then there was a
oh
helpful,
no.
yeah, there was a helpful AV guy who was going to come on stage and help me. So then he comes up to the podium and he starts playing with my thing while I'm talking. And that didn't work, but then suddenly it worked and it went through like 7 slides. Boom, 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 boom. And I was like, oh, look, he
No.
showed up to work. Cool. So I'm like making jokes in between doing my talk while he was there. I was like, oh, it's okay. Don't worry about it. It's fine. And then he'd get it to work and then it would stop again. There's a video of it out there. And then I'm like, oh, it's fine. I'm walking on stage and I'm giving the talk. And then I come back and I look and the slides weren't going. But the hilarious thing, people were live tweeting, and the hilarious thing about it was the talk was about memory. So I was giving the talk about memory from my
Oh,
own memory because I didn't have my slides.
oh
I didn't
wow.
have it was like Inception. And I did it. I powered through the entire hour with
Nice. Nice.
somebody sitting there playing with my computer the whole time. Some slides work, some slides didn't. It would freeze on a slide and I go, "Oh, I guess we're just talking about this slide for the next like 10 minutes." I don't know. But I powered through it, and so that was fun. That was fun. That was a crazy day.
Wow, that's
That was
crazy.
crazy.
So there's nothing that can throw you. You've literally been on a ship doing this.
Right.
You've had unengaging audiences. You've had tech failures left and right. You soldier through. So Christina
Yeah.
Aldan is
Yeah.
your keynote speaker for any occasion,
That's right. Bring on
under
the
any
chaos.
circumstances.
Bring on the chaos. That's my thing. That's my thing.
That's awesome.
Yeah. One of the surprising things for me that really caught me off guard,
Hmm.
while I was in it, like I thought I was so super duper prepared. I had a talk and it was just 7 minutes. Now, I don't know about you, Aunt Blair, but the shorter the talk gets, the more I practice. Give me an hour and I'll just throw up some emoji and I got some things to say and we'll talk. I'll hit on my main points, but I got 20 minutes. That's going to be a more expensive keynote. I got 7 minutes. That's going to
Definitely.
be a little bit more money and more practice, right? And then there's
Okay.
PubConf, which is like those 5 minute slides, like where they automatically um, forward your slides every 20 seconds or something. Those ones I really, really practice for. But I had this 7 minute talk. I practiced. I was ready to go. Ooh, I hear those ducks back there. That's so funny. I love it. They're so cute.
They're everywhere. They're
They're
literally
so
everywhere.
cute. I love it. So I was doing a commencement address for one of our Nevada colleges here, and I had a 7 minute talk, and it was in a big outdoor stadium. Like, have you been in those outdoor
Okay.
venues? You've probably been like for music. In
Oh yeah.
Chicago, they have one. They
Oh
have like
yeah.
Red Rocks in Colorado. So it was like a big outdoor venue, 7 minute talk in front of 3,000 people. And I get up to the microphone and I said, good evening. And it went, good evening, good evening, good evening, good evening. I went, so. And it threw me off because of the delay. I had never
Yes.
spoken in an audience that was an open air audience like that, that was big and broadcast out. And so the echo, I had to pause and speak slower
Right.
because I had to give it time to go to the back rows. That,
Interesting.
like, you want to talk about real time adapting. It threw me way off because I never had that experience before. It didn't occur to me that I would have needed to adapt my talk to that and the cadence and the speed to waiting for the sound of my voice to come back to me. Yeah.
That's science.
Right.
Sound
Right.
waves.
Right. Yeah. Yeah.
Wow. And you're working on you told me you're working on a new talk. Tell me a little bit about that.
Oh, this new
Me
talk.
and the ducks. Tell me and the ducks about that.
Well, I don't know about you and the ducks and new talks. Like, I don't know what your process is, but like for me, it, it takes me a good like 6 months to a year to build up a talk. Okay. Evernote
Sure.
is my best friend in that regard because what I do is I pop everything into Evernote. I can put images, videos,
That's your jam.
research, right? I put research, I can do voice notes. And all through those 6 months to a year, I'm coming across all the things that fit into that talk and that theme. And then what'll happen is about a month before, 2 months before, I put it all into an outline and I rearrange it, and then I kind of lay it all out how I want to, and I'm still building it. And then the last week or two, I'll just sit down and put the whole thing into a slide deck.
Okay.
I'm in that last week right now. And
Oh, okay. Okay.
it's it's really hard. This is the hardest talk I've ever done because this is the most vulnerable, right?
Mm.
I'm talking about my
Hmm.
mental illness. Now, you've known me for a few years. You've seen certain
Yes.
things. You've had to
Yes.
coach me through a lot of my things and overcome
Yes.
a lot of stuff that my mental illness, challenges and roadblocks that my mental illness causes for me. So
Yeah. Yeah.
but I mask, and I also am a very private
Hmm.
person. Like, I'm good at connecting with
Hmm.
people on only certain points and certain things, and they walk away feeling very connected, but they really don't know like the nitty gritty, right?
Right.
They're
Right.
about to know the nitty gritty. This talk is about overcoming adversity. This talk is
Okay.
about how to deal with chaos and still keep going, even though things are chaotic, despite the chaos, how to keep moving despite the chaos, and the ways
Yes.
that I overcame adversity. So I'm gonna talk about connecting with other people. I'm gonna talk about reframing techniques that I learned with my therapist. I'm going to talk about how eating and sleeping affect our mental health. I'm going to talk about, just different ways to make sure all of these things, these pieces of the puzzle that make up you and your life, are in place so that when adversity comes, you can still thrive despite the chaos. You can still overcome those challenges. You can still, even though you're feeling shame, overcome the shame and move forward still, right? It's very vulnerable. Yeah. The ducks agree.
Wow.
The geese agree. Listen to
They do. The geese are in agreement. They're all around. That's
them.
so for one thing, I'm proud of you for taking that on because you have so much to offer in
Mm.
that way that I think people can take away and apply in their lives and break through barriers and overcome obstacles. Because again, I've seen you do that.
Oh, thank you.
And
Thanks.
if you're sharing some of those things,
Hmm.
that's going to be powerful.
Thank you. I hope
I
so.
can't I
I hope
can't wait for the I can't wait for the
helps
talk.
just one person, that's a win for me. So, not everybody has the resources, not everybody has the health insurance that I have, not everybody has the privilege that I have to see
Mm,
so many professionals. Like, I have a team of professionals who are highly skilled who help me. Therapists,
right.
acupuncturist, MFR therapist, even down to my chiropractor and down to all the lab tests that I'm always doing and blood work and things
Yeah.
like that. Um, just to not to mention coaches and just so many things. So if I can share what I've learned, I mean, I, remember we did that YouTube series we recorded like
I
I don't know,
do.
it was like 6 months ago or something. We recorded that,
I do.
and I was talking about it, and I went back and I looked. I've probably had 1,500 hours of therapy, of one-on-one, face-to-face
That's
therapy in
a
my life.
lot of hours.
And, from a perspective of somebody who lives with a mental illness, I think I've processed a lot. I think I'm ready
Sure.
to share some of the chaos in my life, and I'm ready to share how I overcame a lot of that adversity, and I can function today to be in massage school 13 hours a day in class, and
Right.
having the mental capacity and the physical capacity to work on people and massage people for 6 to 8 hours a day. Yeah.
Is how long is this talk for? Is it a 60 or
This is a 60-minute talk.
okay?
It would work as a keynote. I'm not doing it as a keynote in NDC Oslo, but it is a 60-minute talk, and it would work as a keynote too. I'm wondering if maybe it might work as a workshop, just
I was
because
wondering that too.
there are some activities in there that I could branch out and model where, I do Lucky and Leslie and I, we've done different like role playing things in our workshops together. If you go to
I've been in one of them.
luckyandleslie.com.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, that's right. That's right. You went to in Kansas City. So if you go to luckyandleslie.com, we do our workshop about leadership. And a
Hmm.
lot of that is role playing and improv. And I could see how this talk, I could break out certain role playing scripts. I could break out,
Definitely.
right, certain skills, because emotional resilience, emotional intelligence, it's really just skills. Or as my kids, I was listening to my kids play video games a little while ago together with their friends, and one of them got super mad, and they were like, "Oh man, I can't believe that. What happened? I died. Oh, I lost my stuff." He's like, "Sounds like a skill issue." Like, it was so funny.
Is that the kid that I met? The
Yes,
tall, skinny.
they're
Okay, I can't remember
hilarious.
his name.
They're
That's
so
something that I know he would
so
say.
funny. Landon, total dry humor, right? Sounds like a skill issue. Like the other kid's like, "Oh my God, I can't believe," he's like just losing his mind. Sounds like a skill issue. It's so funny.
As he's playing and moving on to
Deadpan,
the
yeah,
next
just
thing.
complete deadpan.
Deadpan.
But it's a skill issue. So emotional intelligence, emotional resilience, it can be
Right.
learned little by little by little by little.
Right.
And we
Right.
have to be willing to look stupid along the way. You have to know that you might not get it right the first time. You might not get it right the second time. You might not even get it the third, fifth, 10th time, but you have to keep showing up and just get up
That's
over
right.
on top of the shame bubble, get up over on top of the guilt, and just know that progress is being made. And I think that a lot of us, we collapse under the weight of our own secure insecurities. We collapse under
Mm,
our own self-deprecation, you know? And so again, my talk is about ways to overcome those emotions, and we can build those skills up. We can like strengthen our resilience muscle, we can, yeah, build up those skills.
that's right. And I
Mm.
think it's so important for people to get the idea of it's getting in the reps.
Yeah.
When I talk to my own people, that the people who I coach, I always use sports analogies, and I'm saying, look, do you not think that Graham? How many slap shots do you think Wayne Gretzky shot
Yeah.
outside of a game?
Yeah.
So that when he was in the game, he was able to make that shot that he needed to make. The NBA Finals is right now. How many professionals take in order to hit that clutch free throw, that clutch three when
Yeah.
you need to have it? That comes from repetition. That comes from putting in the reps. This comes from, like you said, showing up, putting in the time.
That's
And
it.
I think that if people can really embrace that, there's really no band-aids. There's
Yeah.
no quick fixes. There's no silver bullets. There's work.
That's it. There's work. There's 8 hours using your hands, just getting in there, touching as many bodies as you can. That's how you become a good massage therapist, is
There it
you
is.
find the issues, the challenges, and then you move through them as
That's right.
gently, as healthily, as productively and efficiently as possible, you know?
That's right. That's
And
right.
it's
And I've
something that,
seen you do that work.
yeah, thank you. Yeah, well, I
Yeah.
always tell people, like never take advice from somebody who doesn't do their own work, right? I'm not going to be out here hiring coaches who don't do their own work,
Come on.
like a woman who's wrestled her own demons is going to be much more well equipped to help me wrestle my own. Yeah.
Come on, girl. That
Yeah.
is gold right
Yeah.
there. That is gold. So much truth. So
Yeah.
much truth. And how many times have we run into people who say, yeah, I have this thing or this program or this framework or this thing. And I wonder, I'll say for myself, I wonder, I'm like, I don't know. I don't see the visual evidence of it
Yeah,
in
yeah,
your life.
yeah,
And if I
exactly.
don't see the evidence, then
Show me the receipts.
come on,
Show
girl,
me the
show me the
receipts.
receipts.
Show me the receipts. Yeah, you got to walk
Exactly.
the walk. I talk about that in my talk. In fact, to model it, we have to model the behaviors that we want to see in
That's
others.
right.
We co-create the world together, and that's what makes a world, right? I mean, there are 8.4 billion of us now. So we you
It's a lot of people.
you gotta figure it out, right? We're all here
That's
together.
right.
You have to
That's right.
figure it out. And so we're co-creating the world together. If I'm just sitting here complaining and complaining and complaining about other people, but I'm not doing my own work and I'm not showing up in forgiveness, I'm not showing up in patience, but I expect other people to be patient with me
Come
and forgiving of
on.
me, get out of here with that, you know?
Get out of there with that nonsense. Come
Yeah.
on, girl.
Yeah.
Yes, you preaching today, lucky girly
Oh,
girl.
yeah.
I'm gonna catch the Holy Ghost.
That's right. I'm bringing it down. Oh, that's so fun. That's
Oh,
so
I'm excited for you,
fun.
Christina. I really am. I'm excited for you to deliver this talk in Oslo.
Yeah, and in
I
Sweden next month. Next month, I'll be delivering it in Stockholm at DevSum.
same
That'll be
one.
my fifth time speaking there. You know, last time I was there. Let's see, I was there. I was the MC. The time before that, I did the keynote, and then during COVID too, I did a keynote. That was the first time I spoke at DevSum.
Okay.
Was I did the opening keynote virtually. Whew. Back in those COVID days, you remember speaking
Yeah,
there again?
I do. I do. Yeah, I
Yeah,
was on, did many of, oh my gosh.
I
Don't
didn't.
take
I
me
only
back
did
there,
two.
Christina. All down. Don't take me back there.
I only did two. I did the Dev Sum one. That was it. I
Okay.
did that keynote, and then we did Dev Around the World. We did a 24-hour tech fundraiser of
Oh
developers
wow.
all around the world, and we had some of the leading technologists giving talks for 24 hours. We raised $34,000 for global COVID. Yeah, it was good. But
Wow,
I
that's
only did
awesome.
those because the virtual talk. I don't know about you, but the virtual stuff is hard for me.
It's not so much for me only because again, getting in the reps, done it so many times, it's just
Mm,
in my mind it's kind of like doing it live. It's easy for me to flip
yeah,
that switch on and off, just from
yeah,
getting in the reps.
yeah. See, like for me, it feels like live TV. Now, I'm
Oh,
in the studio
interesting.
often here in Vegas because of my nonprofit work, right?
Oh, true.
And so I'm always like, it feels like a teleprompter and there's cameras here. And then I do my talk. And again, it goes back to that I'm an engagey speaker. So I want the
Mhm.
feedback from the audience.
Oh, sure,
Everybody's got
sure,
their cameras off. I can't see. I'm going in
sure,
blind. And then I'm
sure.
like, hey. And then I'm my big finish for my talk. And then I go, okay, thanks everybody for coming. And then I turn off my computer, go
And
make
that's
myself a
it.
sandwich, I guess. Like, I don't know. Like there's no line at the end. Hey, Christina, I had a
Yeah,
question.
true.
Oh, excuse me about that thing. There's none of that. And so it's just like, oh.
That's true. That is
Somebody
that is
has a
one of
cup
the
of tea or
detriments of
something.
my online for sure. You don't get that. Yeah, I
Right.
understand what you're
Step out of
saying.
my office. My kids are so unimpressed. I'm like, hey, I just did a talk. They're like, okay, great, mom. Like, when's dinner? Like, I don't.
Right, right.
Yeah,
That's a great point. That's a great
yeah.
point. You do
Mhm.
not have any of that.
Yeah, yeah. And it's because for me, speaking is teaching. And so if I don't know that I'm not teaching, I want to see people nodding. I want to engage. I want their feedback. I want their answers, their questions, their shout outs, their challenges. You know, this is why I love speaking in Greece because in Greece
Okay.
is my people, right? and their expressions are so everything's just big, and they stand up, and I walk into my workshop and I go, all right, everybody sit down, and they go, you sit down, and I go, shut up, and they go, you shut up, and I go, it's great, and then we all hug, and it's fantastic, and we all go out to eat and have wonderful food, and it's great. I love the culture. I feel like they're my people. Like I'm inside, like outside, I might be like Chinese looking, but on the inside, I feel like I'm Greek. I don't.
I imagine there's probably some DNA in there somewhere. Oh my gosh. So
Hilarious.
Christina, as we get to the end of our time together,
Yeah.
what's what's something that you can leave the people who are watching, listening?
hmm
What's a parting shot that you want to leave with us?
I really think that we just all need to be kinder to ourselves.
Oh,
When we're kinder to ourselves, we're kinder to the people around us.
mm, I love
My
that.
whole life before my diagnosis. Now remember, I have a late age diagnosis of dissociative identity disorder. I
Mhm,
have multiple personalities, right? And I
mhm.
didn't know until I was 42. So that, I just went around being crazy for 42 years without knowing why. Um, but I held myself to such high standards. I was constantly berating myself. And
Mm,
to the point of my mental illness, I even had specific parts and personalities that would berate me. I mean, you can go watch my YouTube series on that. But,
yeah.
I had specific parts even who would berate me. And then I'd be like, oh, what's wrong with me? I'm such a piece of crap. Like, why can't I get this right? I'm an
Mm,
idiot. And then guess what?
mm,
When the people around me made a mistake, or the people around me cut me
mm.
off, guess what I would do? Oh, you idiot. What are you thinking?
Right,
Don't even give them not even a bit of grace, not
right.
even the tiniest little bit. And so it goes back to co creating the world that we
Oh,
want to live
yes.
in. And so we have to model that behavior, and we have to just give ourselves a little bit of grace. Whatever guilt we're feeling, whatever shame we're feeling, just remember that we're human and that there are 8.4 billion other humans out there.
Yes.
Probably the the percentage of other people out there probably making the exact same mistake that you're making is probably pretty high. It's probably higher than you think. So, you can't just berate all 50,000 of those people who are out there making that same mistake.
I mean, you can, but
Well, you could, but how
but
about we
it's
just
no, there's no
realize that
benefit.
it's the human condition to be
That's right.
imperfect.
That's
It's the
right.
human condition to be imperfect. And so giving people that grace is important. Maybe the first time,
Agreed.
maybe the second time, hell, maybe even third or fourth time, depending. I'll give someone grace. I'll give somebody, I mean, you know me, Aunt Blair, like, I,
You are one of the most graceful people that I know.
now it hasn't always been that way. But, I'll forgive people a few times before I
Yes,
I
you will.
really cut them out. I mean, you really got to do some major I mean, don't mess with my kids, obviously. Like that's, you know, shit's going to go down if you start talking about my kids, but I'll give people grace. And I think that if we just do that for ourselves, give ourselves that grace, give ourselves the grace that we might give our grandma or
Oh
our
wow.
our niece, or just give ourselves that grace so that we're not feeling that shame, because that turns into anger, and then we don't think we should express the anger. We're not going to the gym to express the
Right,
anger. We're not out in nature with the geese and the ducks like Aunt Blair
right.
expressing, right? We've got to just drop and do some push-ups, get out that anger, get out
That's
your
right.
journal, and use that anger, because anger unexpressed turns into depression. Unexpressed anger will start to just implode. It will just cause you to implode upon yourself, and you get really, really depressed. Now people are taking anxiety medication and
Oh my gosh,
antidepressants. And I
yes.
go, well, what does your
Yes.
therapist say about that? And they go, well, I don't know, but my doctor's changing my prescription. I'm like,
Right. Right.
hmm. But you got to process that stuff, and we got to
That's right.
process stuff together. If you know, Thomas Hubel is my most recent person that I've been following lately, and he talks about me. He talks about you, and he talks about the space between us and the potential for growth and the potential for connection, the potential for creativity in that space. And I think it all comes down to just, you know, being kind to other people. But in order to do that, we got to be kind to ourselves first. Treat yourselves gently, as my friend Nancy Gabriel says. Treat yourselves gently.
That's a good word right there, Chris. I'm telling you, you was preaching. And you're not wrong, and you're not wrong. And I know that, some people might not have knowledge of Hebrew narratives, but one of the quotes that I like from the Hebrew narrative is, love others like you love yourself, which implies if you're not loving yourself well, how are you going to love your
That's right.
neighbor well? You know what I mean? So when you say that, that's what comes to mind for me, and you're 1000% correct. I mean, yeah, you nailed it.
Ah,
You nailed it, Christina.
thank you. Well, hey, thanks for this time. I appreciate you.
Yeah.
Thanks for sharing the nature with us today.
Oh
Telling
yeah.
ducks
Hey,
hi.
yeah, it was it's good. It's good. And for people who are out there who are on the computer all the time, they're mobile. You can take
Yeah.
them with you. So get out there in nature. You got a hotspot on your phone. When
Yeah.
you talk about processing and everything, nature is a good place to process. So
Sure is.
happy to plant seeds, so to speak.
Yeah. Oh, that's great. I love it. I love it. Excellent. Hey, listen, you have a wonderful day. I'm
You do
off
the
to
same.
massage school. I can't wait. I'm going to learn more about the human body. And
Yeah.
then I'm going later. I'm going to go talk to Leslie. So that's cool.
Hey, tell
Yeah.
her I said hey.
I sure will. I sure will. Yeah. Yeah. Awesome. Well, hey, thanks a lot, Aunt. Appreciate you.
Appreciate you. Lucky girly girl.
All right. Bye.